This is the Lobo Pod with the voice of the Lobos, Robert Portnoy.
Hello, Lobo fans. Welcome into another edition of your Lobo Pod. With the Lobo football season just around the corner now, we stick on the football theme, and we welcome in a brand new Lobo. He's going to be a starting defensive back in his first year in the Cherry and Silver. We have Noah Avinger. How you doing, Noah? Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm doing great. How are you?
I bet you're excited for the season to start. You guys have been hitting each other for a long time.
It is exciting, get into a new program, learning the roles of everything, going against our offense. But there's no better feeling against against another opponent and, playing against a different team where we're all on the same side. So I'm excited for that.
Well, let's start with the new location for you. You've been a San Diego State Aztec your whole college football career. It's kind of a brave new world for you. How's it been?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's definitely different. I mean, it's a new atmosphere. I'm from California, so, I grew up there my whole life. Going to San Diego State was kind of like home for me. So, the beach, the weather, and just that program, it was nice. But getting away from home and coming over here to this program, it was a big change for me, but something that I felt I needed just for, the change of my career.
You said getting away from home was different, but you told me that this program made you feel at home.
Oh, yes.
How did it do that?
I would say especially the coaching staff, Coach Bronco and all the coaches, Coach Howell, Coach Mack, Coach Beck, and all the whole coaching staff. They're very big on family first. So that's big in my family. We're very tight knit. So just seeing them, how close they are and how they, teach us as football players and as young men, it just allowed me to feel at home. You
also said that the faith piece of it, it's a big deal for you, and that was important, and it made a difference as well? Oh, yes, for sure. I'm a believer of Jesus Christ, so, he's my Lord and Savior, and I pray about these things all the time. So, me and my family came on the visit, and then I was just in prayer and talking, and I would say if this is the place for me, then show me, the signs, and he showed me everything I needed to see, and then I ended up here. The close-knit nature of this coaching staff and how they've been together for so long and the way that they preach family, a big deal? Oh, 100%. Just because, how I grew up in my family and how tight-knit we were, just seeing a coaching staff, because it's foreign in today's college football to see, a coaching staff that's so tight-knit because everyone's trying to get what's best for themselves, and then just seeing them come together as a staff and how successful all their programs have been. It was like I have to be here in a way. So I just felt like I needed to come. It sounds like in your experience, very rare to find a staff where so many different people are all pulling so completely in the same direction, and it's not a pursuit of individual goals. It's the team goals that matter? Oh, yeah, 100%. Team goals that matter all. That's the top of the pedestal for them, and for us. Like I was saying, college football is very individual now, and just seeing a team aspect that allows to sacrifice the individual aspect and see what's best for the team. It's the perfect fit, I would say. You're a player with a resume, and you could have pursued an NIL contract, a big one perhaps. And when we talked about that, you said that really wasn't a driving force for me. Why? I would say in life, certain things like that, like NIL, obviously it's a big thing of college football, but it doesn't really set you up for life because they give you a contract without even seeing you play at all. Well, I mean, obviously you have your film and everything, but playing for that school, they haven't seen you play, and they're giving out these contracts. And what Coach Bronco has established here, the earn not given, that's the biggest feeling of accomplishment in a way, being able to earn NIL based off of what you've done in the off season, what you've done in the season.
that's a way better feeling, I feel like. And it just sets you up for life, because life gets hard at the end of the day. And it's just how you go about it. And some things aren't going to be given to you all the time. So I love that aspect of it.
You told me that in the reasons why you came to UNM, the earned, not given value that is the basis for Coach Mendenhall's program was right at the top of the list. But you said that came from your dad, Skinner, and the way that he raised you guys?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, we couldn't get, like, anything without, like, working hard for it. And he would, like, basically set us up for life. Like, anything we do, he knows that, like, it takes hard work, and, like, you have to earn everything you get. That's the only way I feel like is the best way to go about life, because, like, life gets hard, and, like, having that base and foundation, like, in our family, like, I feel like that's the perfect fit, and I couldn't ask for any better parents for, instilling that in us. And that's why I feel like in today's world in college football, that's why I looked for that to be my number one.
Talk some more about your dad, Skinner, who played, and your mom, Nicole, and kind of the role models that they've been for you.
Oh, they've been everything for me. I mean, the sacrifices that they've made throughout their lives for us, like, even if it was, like, bringing them down in a way, like, everything they can do, like, taking us from, like, one practice to another. Like, me and my brother play football, track growing up, basketball, my sister playing basketball, track, and then she even played football with us. So, like, that's a lot of money, like, all these programs that we were playing in. So all the sacrifices that they have made over the years, it's like I owe them the world. So just them being there for us, like, I feel like I owe them everything.
There had to have been some amazing battles in your household, with you being a twin with your sister Asia, who's an amazing, hoop star, and then your older brother Lucky, who preceded you at San Diego State. I know you guys got to play together there. I want to ask you about that. But first, what about the household battles, whether they're in the backyard or on the court, or, like, what did that look like?
Oh, we were very competitive, like, from, like, little kids. Once we started sports, obviously we seen our brother start first, because he's the one that got it jump started.
3 years older than you?
Yeah, 3 years older. And then he got it jump started, so we were always competing with him. Obviously, he was a little bit bigger than us, so that kind of, like, helped us to, work harder and try to be the best. And, like, playing with them, the older kids, actually helped both of us. Even my sister would be in there, because, like, we would be playing basketball together, football, like, all the sports, because we love just competing in everything. So it's a very competitive household growing up.
I believe it. Now, I'm thinking before you started getting bigger, that when you guys were younger, that you and Asia must have had some battles in one-on-one on the basketball court.
Oh, 100%. We would play each other like this was like the world, the championship of the world, or the Olympics or something like that. We would definitely go at it, because obviously, like, growing up, she was bigger than me for most of my life until, like, we finally developed. But, each battle, like, we would probably go at it every day, just go out in the front yard or in the backyard and play basketball, and it'll get really heated. Sometimes we'll be talking to each other, but we just love to compete. That's why I feel like she's the way she is now, for sure.
Who had the better jump shot as kids?
I'll give it to her. I will give it to her. I would give her a run for her money, though. Definitely, I would win some games, but she definitely got the hoop gift, for sure.
You told me that the men in the family, late developing. So they actually held you back a year to help you in terms of being physically prepared as you, continued on in your football career?
Oh, yes, 100%. I feel like that was very beneficial for me, just because I was a smaller kid growing up, and that just gave me, like, kind of not an advantage. It just kind of balanced it out, because, like, I feel like I was below average, like, growing up, just because I was so much smaller than a lot of the kids. So that year to develop and, like, work and continue to pursue what I wanted to get to, like, it helped me a lot, I would say.
You went to high school at Servite in the Orange County area in Southern California. Your dad was a coach there. What was it like having a dad who had, played all the way, to the D1 level at Portland State? So a football playing dad, a football coaching dad. What was it like for you and Lucky growing up as football players?
I would say, like, he pushed us to, the the max level. You know, he wanted us, like, he know how he played the game, and he wanted us to, you know, play the game like that or even to a higher standard. So just having him, like, push you to your limits, I mean, that's, like, what more could you ask for? Like, as an athlete, like, having someone, a father figure, and not only a father figure, a coach that's pushing you to your limit every day. And just having that established in our family, it was, like, perfect for us.
That can be an amazing dynamic, the dad-coach dynamic. It also can be a tough one. You know, how did you guys manage that?
Oh, we managed it extremely well. I mean, he didn't treat us like any different. Like, we were his children on the field, so he treated us like every other player. Like, you had to, like how I said before, you had to establish, like, and earn everything that you get. So even on the football field, like, everyone was on the level playing field. Whoever separated themselves was the one that was going to play, even if it was like, not his children. Like, if it was someone else that was better than us, like, they would play. And I think that's the perfect fit for, like, any athletes, because you want to know, like, because I would say, like, daddy ball is like it's a thing, and, like, a lot of people don't like that, and he never, like, coached that way or anything. So I was very grateful for that.
So you came out in 21, tough because it's still the backside of the COVID pandemic, but an easy decision to go to San Diego State?
Yeah, it was fairly easy. It was close to home. That was the biggest thing for me. I wanted to stay close to home. And my brother and sister were already at San Diego State, so it was like, I was like, why not go and play college football with my brother playing there already and my sister playing basketball. Like, you don't hear 3 siblings going to the same college playing sports. So I was like, it's the decision that I needed to make.
That 2021 season must have been so special for you and Lucky to be on the same team and both contributing. You know, he's playing special teams. He's a running back. You're playing some special teams. You're playing DB. How cool was that?
Oh, it was an amazing feeling. Like, I've always looked up to him, like, growing up my whole life, seeing him play, like, at a higher level, because obviously he got some years older than me, and seeing all them play, like, that feeling when we actually got to step on the field together and play with each other, like, it was one of the best feelings, because I've always looked up to him playing football in the sport and being on the same field with him. Like, I was just blessed every day, even, like, practices, like, blessed every day to compete with him, and then just see him on the other side of the ball just having fun and playing the game we love.
Dream come true, I'm sure. And like a dream scenario for you to start. You were the first DB at San Diego State as a true freshman in 12 years to start your first ever game. You started the opener as a true freshman. You must have been like walking on air.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I came in extremely late too. I came in the last like summer session that the freshmen can come in, and then I was just like, I kind of took that mindset that my dad has established in us our whole life, and I was like, at the end of the day, I know what I'm capable of. I know, like, how I got here, and then, like, how everybody around me has helped me get here. And I was like, I just got to go and show my, the talents that I've been given. And I worked every day. And then that first game feeling, it was very surreal. It felt like a dream come true, because I've always grown up, like, wanting to play college football. So, and, like, just being able to start my true freshman year, there's no better feeling than that.
Well, and Lobo fans will like this. That first game that you ever played in was against the Lobos' rival, New Mexico State.
100%.
Yeah, you guys beat them. You had 5 tackles. 4 of them were solo, so thank you.
Oh, yeah. No, I got you. I got you for sure.
That's great. So fast forward a little bit. Same season, 2021. You're playing Towson. And, I imagined that the dinner table with the family that night was as good as it ever could be, because that was the game that your brother showed out. He had 5 carries. He had a career-long 5-yard carry in that game. You had a pick, your first career pick. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I can never forget that one. I mean, my first college interception. That was
Tell us about it. How did it unfold?
There was like, I think it was like maybe the start of the game. I wasn't doing too hot. Like, it was my first real game where I was like getting into my groove. The start of the game wasn't going too hot, and then like I think it was around third quarter, I started making a couple tackles, and then there was like a cover 2 play, and then I was like, I know they're going to throw the whole shot, and I sunk under it, and it was actually a one-hand pick. So I was like, I got my one hand on it, and then I caught it, and I was like, I was extremely hyped because I was like, this is what I've been praying for. This is what I've dreamed of, and it finally happened. So it was a surreal moment.
Highlight reel stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, and I bet really satisfying for you because you got older bro, and he's trying to find his way, and he finally gets a chance, to get some carries out of the backfield, and it happens in that same game, and you're watching it happen unfold from the sideline. That had to be cool too.
Oh, 100%. Like, it's been an inspiration. Like, my brother's been an inspiration to me. I mean, he's been through a lot. Just seeing him, like, his dreams unfold too as well, and just seeing him on the offensive side, because we're like on different sides of the ball, just watching him play, like, I'm extremely excited for him, happy for him. So I was just cheering like as hard. Like I just go back to like us growing up and just our long nights, early mornings. We're just constantly training and all the work we put in together, and it gets me pretty emotional just because like we've dreamed of this our whole life. So just seeing him, I was like extremely excited for him, and all I can do was just cheer for him every play. So
probably felt like when you were kids again, when you were cheering for him, when you guys were little.
Oh, 100%, it did.
That's too cool. Okay, fast forward, same season. By the way, your freshman year, San Diego State was really good.
Oh, yeah.
You guys opened 7 straight wins. You go on the road to Air Force. That's a tough place to play. And you were telling me that opponent, you had a big play in that game. You said that opponent is one of the toughest that you face every year.
Oh, 100%. Like they're the traditional like wing tee like offense that they run. It's just hard-nosed football. That offense is extremely hard to go against because, I mean, they run downhill. They're not like a big play team where they're just going to pass it and air it out every play. They're going to take their 4 yards every like drive, like every play. So just going against that opponent like that in college football today, it's like you don't really hear about it. And Air Force, and even that atmosphere, like, I mean, being from California and San Diego, like I got to that elevation and I was like, oh, it's hard to breathe up there too. So it was a lot. It was very different. But I mean, that defense that we had that year was crazy. Like the amount of D linemen we had, the safeties, the corners, like that, it was just like the perfect fit to play against them. And then that moment like was big play of the game. And
yeah, here it is. So this is sort of past the midpoint, second quarter, and there you are diving on the sideline. Do you remember the play?
I always remember my college plays. You know, it was very exciting for me. Just being a freshman on that big of a team. I mean, we were ranked like 18 in the country. Just being able to make like all the available plays that come to me, just to help the team. Like that was. All those moments were great, and I was just excited to do my part.
Dive on the football, get your first career fumble recovery. How close were you to the sideline there?
Oh, I had to be like maybe like a couple inches from the sideline.
You're almost out of bounds.
Yeah, 100%. My coach was saying pick it up, but I didn't know like where the offensive guys were, so I was just like, let me just jump on it before it rolls out of bounds too. So.
Well, it led to an Ariza bomb before halftime. I think he had a 51-yard field goal after that play. Ended up being important later in the game. Air Force comes back. It was tight. I mean, a really, really hard-fought football game. Big win. So you told me that you played a good part of that season with a separated shoulder?
Oh, yeah. So I tore my labrum, I think, like week 9. We were playing Nevada. That's when like Nevada had a really good team with Romeo Dubs, Carson Strong, and
actually happened in warm-ups, didn't it?
It did. I like went to jump and catch a ball, and then like my feet like swept up under me, and I went to catch myself with my arm, and then it like dislocated. So, and then I went in to see the doctors, and they said I can still play. So, you know. I suited back up and then went and played the rest of the game and then the rest of the season. And then after that, I got surgery on it. So
the second half of that season, amazing. You guys have a huge home win against Boise State that sends you to the Mountain West Championship game. You win a bowl game. There were a couple of really big early season wins against Arizona and Utah. Had to be just a thrilling way for you to start your college football career.
Oh yeah, there's no better start to a college career, going like to the championship. Obviously, if we would have won, that would have been.
Utah State got the better.
Yeah, that would have been like the perfect like season. But just having the ability to go to the championship my freshman year, it was just a surreal feeling. Even playing my freshman year, like as a true freshman, and being able to contribute
with all the studs in that secondary.
Oh no, 100%. So like being able to contribute on that team, it's just like all I've worked for and prayed for. So it's the best feeling I can ask for.
A 6-year senior and starter went down against Utah, and you had to play late in a game that was tight. Like you're on the field on the final drive during regulation. It goes 3 OTs. You're out there the entire time. Rewind back to that game, and the emotions must have been amazing.
Oh yeah. So watching, like, I didn't expect to play in that moment, just because it was so big and we were playing a big opponent. And then seeing him going down, I was like, I just got to go in and do my part. Like I'm built for moments like this. I've gone through plenty of hard games, and it's just another game. At the end of the day, I've been playing it since a little kid. So yeah, triple overtime. We knocked out like the first string quarterback, and then that's kind of like where Cam Rising's like career kind of jump started. Yeah, jump started. So like he comes in around like late third quarter, and then they come back because we were up, I think, at least like 2 touchdowns, and then he comes back like on their offense. So like we hadn't planned for him. So like triple overtime. Like when I get in, I'm just like, I got to do my part, like just relax. So it goes to first overtime. We make plays, they make plays, and then it's going back and forth. And then the final drive, I think Segun Alubi, he like broke up a ball on like the goal line, and then everybody ran on the field. It was just a dream come true, because like even Utah, like that was one of the schools that I was heavily recruited by, and a school that I showed interest in. So just being able to beat them my freshman year, I was like, oh, this is a great feeling.
You guys had a great record against the Pac-12 schools back when you were at San Diego State, that's for sure. So now fast forward to your sophomore year, and the team's not quite as good as it was the previous season. But, you're balling out again, and the final year for you actually playing for San Diego State.
Yes, for sure. It went not as we expected. I mean, obviously there was so many games that we could have won, just mistakes by the defense or mistakes by the offense. We couldn't find the perfect match to where we were balanced out, and each side of the ball was doing what they needed to do. But, I had a great season. I mean, I can't complain about it. At the end of the day, I stayed healthy the whole season. So, I was just blessed to play another year, my true sophomore year. And, those guys, we had a great team, just didn't make it how we wanted to. But we still made it a bowl game.
Absolutely.
We went to the Hawaii Bowl, and that was a beautiful experience. I love the bowl games. I went to a bowl game my freshman year as well. We went to the Tropicana Smoothie Bowl. So the bowl games are great experiences. So being able to go my freshman year playing, and then going through that, and then my sophomore year playing a full healthy season, that was a great moment for me.
You had to pick that sophomore year against Jake Haener in Fresno State.
Definitely.
On the road. Do you remember that one?
Oh, 100%. I remember all my big plays. That was a hard game, because we ended up losing that game. Down the line, we were up by 18. I think
they came back.
Yeah, they came back with 6 minutes left. We were up
It was an onside kick too.
Yeah. Muff punt, onside kick. Anything that can go wrong went wrong in that game. But my pick was a big moment of the game. I mean, we were up, we had the momentum, and then they were driving down the field. I think it was the 20 in, and then they took a shot and try to, score a touchdown on me, and then I picked them off. So that was like a momentum shift for our team. And then I love that feeling, like being at an opponent's stadium and then making a big play, because like the crowd goes silent. You can like hear a raindrop in there. So like that play was very exciting for me.
This is a cool play. I wish we had a highlight of this one because it's such a rarity, but you forced a fumble on the opening kickoff against UNLV in a game that was very close, a 14-10 game for you guys, that you guys defeated the Rebels. But how did that unfold? Oh,
I was just, kickoffs, like I would say, like the biggest play of the game. Like it kind of sets the tone for all big games. And I love that play because it's very physical, and then you just run down there and get to hit someone else, a different opponent. So, like opening kickoff, we knew that was a team that could give us a battle. So I was like, let me just fly down there, do my job, and then I knocked the ball out. So I made the tackle, I knocked the ball out. We didn't recover it, unfortunately, but that was kind of like set the tone for the game.
You played UNM twice. Mm-hmm. You beat UNM twice. I think you had one tackle in the first one. That was a game where you were the home team. But you did come to University Stadium and play as a sophomore and had a pretty big game. That I think you had 5 tackles in that game against the Lobos. What do you remember about coming to play as a visiting player here at University Stadium?
This was the like hardest game for me, I would say, just because like the elevation. So like I was not like used to it at all. Coming over here, it's like 5,000 elevation. So coming here to UNM, like I like the stadium just because I like playing in opponent stadiums. I never thought I would end up here actually, but just coming here playing in the stadium, it was freezing. Like I was never like, because I'm used to warm weather, Cali weather, like it's always 70 degrees, like nice. I came here, it was probably like 20 degrees, and I was like, oh, this is not for me. Like I'm freezing. But that game, it was a good game. I mean, obviously our team was pretty good that year, so I made the plays that came to me, and that was probably one of the hardest games though, physically on me.
Now you're here, and it's been a pretty hot summer. You're experiencing the other side. Not that the weather. I mean, the weather here is amazing. Mm-hmm. Just a couple of days of snow, just a couple of days 100 degrees, but training camp, you guys just wrapped it up. Pretty tough under Coach Mendenhall?
Oh, yeah, 100%. But I feel like he has the perfect balance of, pushing us to our limits, but also taking care of our bodies. So, that training camp was, I mean, it does definitely test your love for football. Like training camp is like fall camp. You can ask any athlete or any football player how training camp is, and it definitely tests your love of football. I mean, I love it. I've been playing the game for a long time, so I just love to go out there every day and compete. So just wrapping up, my first training camp here is like I'm so excited for the upcoming season. I mean, I haven't played in a little while, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to follow up on because you said how cool it was to get through your sophomore year healthy because you'd been hurt as a true freshman at San Diego State, but your third year at SDSU. You said first scrimmage of fall camp, 2023, injured the same shoulder?
Yes. So going into fall camp 2023, I was like, this is my year. Like I had in my mind, I was like, I played my freshman year, I played my sophomore year. Like my plan was to, go into my junior year and ball out and then go to the NFL. So that was like my real big plan going into fall camp. It started out rough. I didn't really feel myself. And then that first scrimmage, I went to make a tackle, and then it blew right through with the surgery that was done on my left shoulder. And then I kind of felt it, and I practiced probably another week, and then I told the trainers, I was like, I think something might be wrong with it. I want to get an MRI to see like if it is actually torn again. And then it happened to be torn again, and that kind of like killed my spirits in a little bit just because I knew like what my goals were, and just like my plan wasn't gonna work how I wanted to. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just prayed a lot and found my faith being a big role that year, just because like that's the only way that I was gonna get through it. And that's kind of partially the reason how I ended up here, just because I feel like God has a plan and His plan is perfect, and just Him, He works in mysterious ways, and just Him like having me go through that kind of trial is the reason why I am where I am today.
And you told me they used some screws to repair the labrum, but I wanted to ask about the mental challenge.
Yes.
Of having to sit out a year and knowing that kind of your whole plan got blown up. Was that as tough in terms of psychologically as you'd had to endure in your career?
Oh, 100%. That was like the hardest thing I've probably ever gone through, like playing like sports in my whole life, just because this is my first year ever sitting out of football, because I've been healthy my whole career, even like playing through injury like I did my freshman year. So this was the first time where I had to just sit back and watch. And I'm a big person where I don't like to watch. I rather just play through like any injuries and all. But this was like a moment where I had to step back and just watch and support my teammates. And it taught me a lot that I needed to know, and a lot of battles that I needed to face mentally and physically, just because I feel like I feel like God does everything for a reason, and He did it for a reason, because obviously I didn't learn something that I needed to learn after my first surgery that I had on my shoulder. So I was like, there's a purpose for it, and I finally understand why He did what He did. And I kind of took every day as a positive mindset. Obviously, it's very easy to go in the hole, like when you're down and you're not at your peak performance, just because like you can't perform because you're hurt. So like it's easy to get negative thoughts, but I always every day woke up with a positive mindset, like this is what I have to do, and just took it one day at a time. And I feel like that was the perfect thing to do for me.
I firmly believe that tests like those, if you can grind through them, they make you stronger coming out the other side. And it's put you in this position now to get this opportunity here at the University of New Mexico. So that's really cool. I was thinking about the guys that you told me who were players that you've sort of looked up to and what the theme was. You played some running back and some DB, right? And one of them was DeAnthony Thomas. One of them was Richard Sherman. It's the SoCal connection, isn't it, for those guys? One of them is a Crenshaw guy, and the other one is Compton, Manuel Dominguez, I think. So tell me about those two guys. And you must have been able to watch them from when they were high school players even, yes?
I was able to see DeAnthony Thomas in high school. But the biggest thing from DeAnthony Thomas was when he was at Oregon. Oregon was like my dream school, just because I watched him play. So just seeing like his athletic ability and how elusive he was and how smooth he was playing football, I kind of mimicked that into my offensive side of the game growing up.
How good a running back were you?
Oh, I was an extremely good running back. I would say you can ask anyone that played with me. I even have some highlights on YouTube that you can go watch if you go search up my name.
How did you choose cornerback versus running back ultimately?
I would say my dad kind of like put the idea out there. He was like, you're probably going to be like a taller, slimmer guy, so you should probably try out running back and receiver. And that's like kind of when I switched. I think my 8th grade year going into high school, that's when I kind of switched. And, that's when I really fell in love with corner throughout high school, just because it's one of the hardest positions on the field. I mean, I've played safety too, so I'm actually playing safety right now. So just the defensive side, I mean, it's a very hard position because you don't know what the offense is doing. And then you're kind of stopping them from getting touchdowns. Obviously, I grew up loving to score touchdowns, so that was like big for me. But being on the other side of it, I kind of fell in love throughout high school. So.
And why Richard Sherman?
Oh, Richard Sherman, it's just that was the aspect because I was a defensive guy too. So I loved offense and defense equally growing up, but offense had the little bit of the edge. So like DeAnthony Thomas was like high on my list. But Richard Sherman, I just saw his focus and the technique that he brought to the game, and his mindset. He played offense as well, offense and defense, but just the mindset that he brought to defense and like the little details of everything, kind of mimic that in my game, and that's partially the reason why I fell in love with defense as well. So
you touched on the last thing I wanted to ask, because you started as a corner when you arrived, but now here in fall camp, circumstances what they are, looking to get the best 5 on the field, and they know how versatile you are. You played safety when you were younger, and like so the transition to playing safety and sort of being one of the quarterbacks of the defense with Christian Ellis back there. How is that going, and how have you embraced that?
Oh, I've embraced it. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just doing whatever's best for the team, and they know I'm capable of doing so. So, you know, just being out there, being able to communicate with the guys, and being able to communicate, like being the vocal aspect of the defense. You know, I mean, I've studied the game for many years, and you know, I have experience at the college level. So, just being able to help, you know, the other positions, corners, the safeties, and being able to learn. At the end of the day, like you learn something new every day, like even at a new position. So that was like the biggest thing was learning like the whole aspect of the defense, because at corner your job is pretty simple, even though it's the most difficult position, but your job is pretty simple. Like at safety, then you know it's a big change, it's a big shift, because you got to know certain run plays, certain like pass plays. Like you're kind of doing everything. You're covering, you're the post player, you're blitzing. So like the whole aspect of it, and you know, I love it. So like at the end of the day, I love playing, you know, defense. So wherever I can make myself on the field, make the available plays, that's what I'm gonna do.
I'm not gonna lie, like I anticipated you being opposite somebody and locking them down, you know, and watching you do that. But now, the first time I saw you come downhill through a hole and blow somebody up on the backfield, I was like, whoa, I didn't know that Noah had that in his game. Yeah. Is that fun?
Oh, yeah, I love that. I love the physical aspect, you know. At corner, I'm not able to show it just because it's more like a finesse kind of guy. You know, you're just covering most of the time. So it's kind of like a mindset switch, because you're filling the runs at safety. And I love coming downhill to lay the boom. So at the end of the day, I love that aspect of safety. So bringing that out of me, it's a great feeling.
Well, now it's just next week, and it's game week, and the excitement's got to be off the charts.
It's been a while since I played, so you know, and we've been working extremely hard. Coach Mendenhall and all the coaches, you know, they've got us very prepared for next week. So, you know, we're excited to play a different opponent. Now, we've been playing each other for too long now, so we're kind of itching to play another opponent. So it should be very exciting.
Opener coming up against Montana State. Noah Avinger, thanks for being on the Lobo Pod.
Thank you.
The Lobo Pod is a production of UNM Athletics.